Hello again. Today is Friday, January the 15th, 2021, and it's about 8:31 my time here. First video for the new year. Hope you guys had a good holiday season and good New Year's. Welcome to 2021. Forgive me, train going by there. I'm here at Veterans Clinic in Hopkinsville, Kentucky for my dad. He's a disabled veteran of the Vietnam War, and he had a doctor's appointment this morning, and so wanted to make a short little video while he's in the doctor's office here. Been watching the impeachment proceedings and goings on there. Pretty interesting stuff. Second round of impeachments for Mr. Trump. Some say deserved, some say not. I'd like to hear all the evidence first. I thought we were going to. Usually the way impeachments are started is in the United States House of Representatives Judiciary Committee, and it works its way through the process there. There's, investigations and hearings, etc. But the Democrats, the House Democrats, say because Mr. Biden is due to be sworn in next week as our 46th president of the United States, that it needed to be done quickly. We need to get this over with. We need to move past Trump, past the Trump administration, past all of his wrongdoings and inactions. Particularly related to the riots at the D.C. Capitol on 6 January 2021, which was a mess in and of itself, and I have several conspiracy theories in mind related to that, basically along the lines of inside job is my humble opinion about it. A couple of Congress people were seen by other fellow Congress people and law enforcement giving these groups reconnaissance tours, and I'll link a story that I saw, one particular story that caught my attention from the Washington Post. We're giving reconnaissance tours to these groups the day before, which would have been 5 January 2021, the day before these riots transpired from out of this Save America rally that Trump and them had. Pretty convincing, pretty convenient, detailed article, detailed information. There was video with several links in the story itself to other relatable articles and information from various other news sources, pretty reputable news sources. I thought was very, very telling. But we have that. We have Mr. Clyburn, who was on CNN State of the Union with Jake Tapper last Sunday last, talking about, as the whip of the United States House of Representatives, the majority whip, person in charge for whipping up votes and getting votes for certain pieces of legislation that they want passed. He said in the course of his interview with Jake Tapper that the rioters, instead of going to his public, quote unquote, public congressional office, they went to his, or found his, private unmarked office that he uses as the majority whip for the United States House of Representatives. He said it's an unmarked office. It's not easy to find. Pretty much only he and a very limited number of people know specifically where this office is and how to get to it, etc. These rioters were seen on video basically going up in these secure rooms in the Capitol where they take certain members of the House and the Senate to keep them secure because they're in the quote unquote line of succession. If something should happen to the President of the United States, it goes down a line of succession. And each one has a particular place where they go. Well, these rioters were seen going up in these offices, these secure locations, smoking, drinking, playing loud music. Some of them said they shit and pissed on the carpet and the floors and stuff like that. Flooded out bathrooms, stole computers, laptops, cell phones, got up in Nancy Pelosi's speaker's office, did whatever in there. Real big mess. The other thing that caught my attention was related to the now former Capitol Hill police chief, this Mr. Sund. And I'll link the article in the description section to that from the Hill magazine, where he talks about that on that day, at least 5 separate and distinct times, he called for help from Washington, D.C. Police, Metro Police Department, the Pentagon, Department of Defense, National Guard, Virginia State Police, Maryland State Police, Oxon Hill, Maryland Police Department, Temple Hills, Maryland Police Department, Alexandria Police Department, Alexandria, Virginia, which is just across the river, Potomac River from Washington, D.C., Old Town, Alexandria, historic place. And all these places, grew up there. My parents both worked federal government for years and years. I had family worked federal government for years and years. But, he called these surrounding jurisdictions, and the thing was, quote unquote, optics. In particular, with the National Guard, the secretary of that office said he was concerned about optics. How would it look if National Guard troops were stationed on the Capitol with their guns and their rucksacks and all that stuff? Well, what are they doing now? Are we concerned about optics now? Why weren't you concerned about optics on 6 January 2021? So it leads me to speculate on speculos that inside job. Benghazi-like, 9/11-like, loose change-like, call what you want, what you will, Alex Jones, InfoWars, conspiracy theory stuff. Ooh, spooky, spooky. But, why coop somebody with basically 14 days to 2 weeks, 2 full weeks left in their term in office? They've been beaten. Their opponent won. The process is done. It's over with. What's the hurry with getting Joseph R. Biden Jr. and Kamala D. Harris in office? Okay, they're going to be in office come 20 January 2021, high noon. Be sworn in. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, good on you. You got your team over the hump. They won. Our side, the other side, quote unquote, lost. That's it. What's the big deal? And then the Republicans, all they asked for at the time, for one, Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley asked for a commission, a simple election commission to look into these various frauds. What's happening? What's going on with the fraud situation? That was a problem. And then the Judiciary Committee, they didn't want the impeachment stuff sorted out. So, a little troubling, a little disconcerting.